Am I live? Am I live? I'm wearing my little scarf. It's not really the right one, but I'm actually also taking belly dance classes twice a week online with an amazing teacher who's actually in Turkey. So love her very much. So twice a week in the morning. We're doing some veil a bit right now. But yeah, so yesterday I did a live stream for days 5, 6, 7 because not much had happened and I was getting discouraged. Hi, Jessie. Thanks for being there. And so I started experimenting yesterday after doing a little bit more research because I was really getting concerned. My sourdough starter was not really happening much. Not dead, but it wasn't really happening. So I did research. I ended up splitting it in two and going different routes now with both starters. So definitely a lot of improvement, as you can see. The tape is where it was when I last added flour and water yesterday. So they're both definitely getting more active, which is awesome. I was wondering if it really needs to be fed every 12 hours. I'm actually going to do more research on that tomorrow. So I'll get back to you with all of the details, but I think I do. I think it's serious that I really have to do it. They are actually over ready. It's been more than 12 hours and I can see that it's starting to go down. So it's time I'll do that right away after. Don't want to bore you with all the kitchen stuff, but I want to tell you the little changes I decided to make. So my concern with the original recipe that I was using, it's like all starters they work by ratio, and it's always the weight of the starter, the weight of the flour, and the weight of the water, how they are in proportion one to the other. So the original one I was using was actually like, usually you go like the number dot, the number colon, the number colon, and usually it's like can be 1, 1, 1 or 1, 2, 2 or 2, 1, 1. You just play with the ratios. But my original one was really wet. It was too wet actually because I've modified it since yesterday. So that's why it's more active. But the original ratio for this one that I've been doing since the beginning. Hi everybody. Osvaldo is here. So glad you're here. Bonjour mon cher mon ami. So the original ratio for this one was something more along, I know it's going to confuse you, but I'll explain after. It was around 0.75 to 1 to 1.25. And when you think about it, it makes no sense because the smallest amount of doing a refeeding, the smallest amount was the current yeast starter, adding some flour, and then even adding more water. And starter goes a lot by hydration percentages. I think this one was probably around 110 to 125. So the problem with this is that because there's so much water, the gas that's getting trapped into the starter doesn't have enough protein from the flour to shape a gas or a bubble. So it's kind of weak. You can't really get the gas developed. So that was my big issue with it, I think. I said I had done some starter a little while back, so I tried with what I did this time, and this one is a 1, 1, 1. So this is 1 part by weight starter, 1 part water, 1 part flour. And that definitely right away had already started getting much better. So here again, there was so little starter that it felt probably like it had to restart the starter and regrow the bacteria everywhere in the yeast. So it was like, I can't do it. I need more effort. So then I decided that I was really unhappy with this one as well. And I looked at another website, and this one had a ratio of 2. So for 2 parts of yeast, you have 1 part water and 1 part flour. So I thought that'd be interesting to try because this way you actually have already more yeast and bacteria working, and you're just adding a little bit of water and flour. So I was curious to see how that was going to turn out, and it also rose quite a bit. So right now I don't know yet who's my favorite, but I'm going to keep doing it the same way. I'm going to feed them now the same way that I've done them. And one big thing that I did that made a huge difference is I put them in the oven. The oven is turned off. but I just turn on the pilot light and it makes it a much warmer environment. And I think that it made a big difference because, I mean, it's not super cold here. Yesterday it was, but it's maybe just could be a little bit warmer to help the yeast really grow the starter better. So now I've started putting it in the oven with the pilot light on. Do not turn on the oven. If you get to 140 Fahrenheit, you're going to kill it completely. So you can always remember to take it out first. And another thing, if I have a chance to go outside today, I had mentioned already since the beginning that the water you use should be filtered water because there's chlorine in our taps and the chlorine can kill the yeast too. So filter or bottled water that has no chlorine, you got to read it. And I had been using my filtered water, but I think my filter is dead. So I have been putting chlorine kind of in there. So if I have a chance, I'm going to try and go get some bottled water that has no chlorine in it. And we'll see if that makes a difference. So it's not going to happen for this feeding, but hopefully I can get it. And I'll do it for the feeding tonight. And tomorrow we shall see the results. So, and I think I'm going to be getting a lot of, I'm like reduced the amount of flour I'm putting in over the beginning. So I'm not creating extra discard, but I already have like 1.5 and I'm going to have another one. So maybe tomorrow there'll be pancakes. Maybe there'll be pancakes tomorrow. Who knows? So I hope that you really enjoyed this very much. Update day 8 of the starter, starting to get a little more positive. Thank God. So I wish you a wonderful day and always remember to eat and travel safely at this time. And to, I can never finish a live stream without screwing up my own slogan. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Let me try it again. Always remember to eat and travel safely outside of your comfort zone. Nailed it. Mic drop. Have a great day, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Mwah. Bye, guys. Why is it not ending? There we go.